Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. We begin this evening with fallout from the growing mental health crisis in our country. Demand for counselors and therapists, as you know, it has been surging. In fact, I want you to look at some numbers right here. These are, again, just for 16 and 17-year-olds. According to the Journal of Abnormal Psychology, between 2009 and 2017, cases of major depression among these late teens rose by 69%, and that was before the pandemic.
100% increase in referrals over the past couple of years. So it is a tidal wave of need out there.
And here's the result of all that extra demand. 14,000 kids on wait lists for outpatient services. The average wait time for ongoing therapy for children is 15 weeks. This data is from the Association for Behavioral Health Care. And the problem? Well, it's only getting worse. Therapists and counselors are burning out. For every 10 clinicians entering work in mental health clinics, 13 are leaving. For those trying to hire, nearly half, 46%, say it is taking 9 months or more to fill an independently licensed clinician position. And those numbers, they're even worse when you're looking to bring in someone who can prescribe medicine. 2/3 say it is taking 9 months or more to hire someone. There is a ripple effect to all of this. You may not have thought about it unless it's impacted you. Often family court decisions cannot be made without an initial mental health assessment being done by a licensed clinician. The wait lists are creating a logjam. Penelope Hefner is a Charlotte area family law attorney working for Sodoma Law.
We use mental health professionals in basically everything that we do, particularly for custody. We use them for reunification therapy when we've got a strained relationship between one parent and a child. We use them for assessments to determine a parent's ability to parent. We use them for adoptions and pre-placement assessments. So anything that involves kids at some point or another probably has some use of a mental health professional.
Yeah, so that was my next question. What happens then? Do those cases just stop?
Unfortunately, they do sometimes. They slow down. I can't deny that. If you've got a custody battle going on and a judge has ordered or the parties have consented to an assessment of some kind, whether it be anger management, whether it be parental fitness, whatever it is, that judge is going to want to wait on those results. And if those assessments are 6 months out, which is not unusual, then that means you are 6 months further from the finish line.
Put that in some sort of context for us.
I think in the past, if we needed a reunification therapist, we could probably get somebody in within a few weeks. If we needed an assessment, maybe a couple of months. And now, Jamie, the problem is if there's a delay, you may not even be able to find somebody.
So explain the impact that's having on lives. I mean, there's a lot of lives then on hold.
So I do work as a parenting coordinator and as a guardian ad litem, and this is where I see a lot of this. Those are typically high conflict cases. And I see scenarios where we get a court date and we have to postpone because we don't have the assessment back, or the parties come to an agreement or the judge orders some type of reunification therapy. And then the families struggle. I've got one family in particular where the police have been called on a very young child because one parent and the child just cannot work together. And we want a reunification therapist. We've all agreed to one, but we cannot find one. And we have reached out to many. So what's going to happen is that parent and that child are going to continue to struggle and things are escalating.
You kind of touched on it, Penelope, but here's the Charlotte metro area, probably more therapists perhaps available than, say, if you have to go to rural Anson County for something. What are folks there doing?
They're having to do the one that I said about Asheville. It's a Union County case, and that is the closest that we could find. So yes, if they can't find somebody in Charlotte, you're talking about going across the state. You're talking about their experts sometimes that we have to defer to that are outside of North Carolina. They're really having to broaden their search. And then with that comes increased cost. It certainly isn't any less to have to use somebody that far away.
How are you sort of managing this and counseling your clients having to deal with this?
We really try and set expectations for our clients. And we say, the phrase that I use all the time is, it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's for your regular case. If I see that it's high conflict, if I see that there's a lot of custody related issues, I tell them, go ahead and start looking for people now. Start doing your homework, because the longer we wait, the longer we are in line to actually get to some resolution.
Really an important issue. Let us know what you think about it. Maybe this has impacted you. Use the hashtag OIS Tonight on Twitter. You can also email askjamie@wbtv.com or use the QR code to get to our mobile page.